And now, from Studio 315, in the luxury towers of Cord Hall, on the historic campus of St. John's Northwestern Academies, it's time for the latest edition of the Lancer News Network. With George Butzer, Johnny Doro, Antoine Karam, Justin Lindstedt, Dalton Papandrea, Ethan Rockwerger, Chloe Smalley, and Ben Vi. Entertain, unify, inform. This is LNN.
Good morning, Lancers. I'm Ben Vi. Today is Monday, September 20th, 2021. Welcome and thanks for watching. Big stories today include a look at some of the Lancers' fall sports, a tribute to the 9/11 terrorist attack, and how you can get permission from school to grab a gun and shoot stuff. But first, here's Alex Romero with a look at how the weather will shape up over the coming days. Alex?
Good morning, St. John's. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We're starting up the week with all cloudy weather, except noting Tuesday, we're looking at a PM thunderstorm. Start off the highs with the 90s, going all the way to Friday, like mid-70 range. And the lows at 64, going all the way down to 52. Over by Mexico City, you guys are having a nice, neat 72 degrees. Moving on to Moscow, you guys are having a chilly 48. You guys are in Shanghai right now. You guys are having a nice 86 degrees. Moving all the way down to Seoul, we're looking at 79 degrees. A little hot over there, huh? Back to you, Ben.
Thanks, Alex. The Math Department is excited to announce the beginning of Mu Alpha Theta, a National Mathematics Honor Society at St. John's Northwestern Academies. Mu Alpha Theta members are eligible for scholarship, awards, and grants, as well as being listed in the national database. Members will also receive certificates, membership cards, and are eligible to wear an honor cord upon graduation from St. John's Northwestern Academies. It also looks great on college applications. For info on requirements, please see Miss Erickson in room 202. Also, for those interested in competitive math, like weaponized, take no prisoners, epic, gladiator-style tournaments, armed with nothing but your finely honed math skills, St. John's is formulating a plan to field a team to compete in the National Fall Season of Math Madness. We will compete every Monday afternoon during tutorial time. The season will begin the first week of October and end in December. You can also see Miss Erickson in room 202 to find out how you can get involved.
September 11th, 2001 was a date that seared itself permanently into the minds of all Americans. While conflicts have existed worldwide for all of history, a blatant attack on American soil was something unfathomable to the general populace. On this day, 4 planes were hijacked, 2 of which crashed into the World Trade Center in New York City. A third hit the Pentagon a short time later, and a fourth, which was headed toward the Capitol building, was thwarted by passengers on the plane who went from being everyday citizens to heroes when it meant the most. Brave first responders, firefighters, and police officers heroically rushed toward the danger without consideration for their own lives or safety. Now, 20 years later, we at SJNA are helping to keep our promise to never forget September 11th, 2001. To all who have served, fought, and even died to protect our great nation in the wake of this tragedy, we thank you. Never forget.
Well, the fall sports seasons are in full swing. The JV soccer team is off to a great start with a recent 2-2 tie against a very physical Watertown team. The varsity soccer team is also out to a great start with a 4-2 victory over the Arrowhead Reserve and a 3-1 victory over conference rival Kenosha Christian Life. Their next home game is in September 23rd at 4:30, and they can always use more support. Here's a look at how some of our other teams are shaping up. So I'm back here with Colin Bonacorsi, junior class. Colin, how are you?
I am fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, you play for the Lancers.
I do. I am the starting center for the offensive line.
How's the team been doing this year?
Team's been struggling a little bit. Wouldn't say we're performing our best. I think we have more within us.
How have you been playing this year so far?
I'd say I've been having a pretty good season. Been trying pretty hard and giving forth a lot of effort. I'd say I've had some tough competition. I've put up a good fight and I've dealt with it. And now I just need to put that on the game field.
And now it's time for the Dunk of the Week!
There it is, baby!
Did you know that SJNA has shooting sports? We will begin our year of shooting next week. Please talk to Mr. LeVictor, Mr. Black, or Mr. Pickleman if you are interested. Archery will be our sport of focus for the fall. This will take place during sports time, so please keep that in mind.
My name is George Butzer, and we all remember what we were like when we first got here. So today I interviewed a new cadet, Brian Thomas, on his cadet experiences so far. What is your favorite moment so far at St. John's?
My favorite moment so far was getting absolutely dialed on the golf course. I was playing really well one day, and I was having a really good time out there. It's a nice golf course, but I really enjoyed going out there by myself, listening to my music, just hitting some absolute dimes with my golf clubs.
What's your least favorite moment so far at St. John's?
Kind of like not having like a lot of time to study. Like 2 hours is a lot, but I still find myself having a lot of work here and there that I need to get done, whether it's like shoes or like school stuff. I'm in a lot of like honors and AP classes, and it's hard to keep up with all my school stuff, but I'm still balancing out pretty well. And also the uniforms, it would be nice to have maybe a day here or there where it was just wear whatever you want. But yeah.
All right, what's your favorite like part of St. John's that you enjoy?
My favorite part of St. John's is probably going to be the people. I'm making a lot of good friends that I enjoy being around, a lot of funny people that are fun to be around, some good friends that are good to talk to. I enjoy them.
All right, what's your like absolute least favorite thing to do here?
Probably just like the barracks stuff in terms of how like perfectly dusted everything needs to be, and how your shoes need to be perfectly shiny, and if there's a little scratch, it's like not perfect enough. And all like the super little things that take a lot of time because I'm always busy with something and it's hard to keep on track, and all the little things, they like add up to be pretty big, and it's like hard to fit it in my tight schedule.
All right. Are you staying for the next school year?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I came this far, I'm doing pretty good and I don't want to back out, as well as it looks very, very nice on college applications.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Yeah, of course.
When you first came to the St. John's, like, how did you feel about the barracks?
It was a little musty, but it was all right.
What about the rooms?
They were good.
And what do you want to see happen to the rooms, like, for change and everything?
I mean, we could fix up the windows. They're kind of hard to open and close.
And what about the barracks in general?
I mean, they're pretty good for being, like, old and stuff.
I'm not going to lie, I thought the barracks would be a little better. I thought the rooms were okay. They could be better, definitely, but they're not horrible.
Did they change at all over time?
Not in the time that I've been here.
So we're here with Mr. Simkes. So is life in the barracks the way you expected it to be while you were enrolling at St. John's Northwestern?
Life in the barracks is not what I expected it to be. I thought it would be like a lot more strict, a lot more discipline, but at the end of the day, like, we still end up having fun.
How do you like your common areas, like the lounges, the mess hall, the showers, etc.?
The TLC is pretty nice. Bathrooms, they're always clogged. The mess hall. I mean, the mess hall, like if you go in, then it's not bad.
So, from a 0 to 5-star rating, like in the whole barracks stuff, how would you rate it?
It would have to be decent. 0.5.
0.5?
0.5.
Okay.
The beds are terrible.
For you top tier students out there, Mr. Geiger and Miss Karkston, co-advisors for the National Honor Society, would like to remind you that students eligible for NHS, including introduction this fall, will be receiving membership application packets this week. You will be asked to fill out paperwork and return it soon thereafter. Any students who were NHS members at a different school prior to coming to SJNA, see Mr. Geiger in room 306 to complete the transfer of your membership, and also so that you will be recognized at this fall's introduction ceremony during Fall Families Weekend. Current NHS members should see Mr. Geiger or Ms. Carson sometime this week for a quick check-in.
Today we have Mrs. Schuler with us, and we're going to be asking her some questions.
And that's all for today's episode of Lancer News Network. Entertain, unify, inform. For LNN, I'm Ben Vi. Thanks for watching. And that's all for today's episode of Lancers News Network. Entertain, unify, inform. What did I say?
Lancer News Network.
And that's all for today's episode. Oh, I knew that. And that's all for today's episode of Lancer News Network. I didn't even say Lancers! What did I say?
Lancers News Network.
And that's all for today's episode. Oh my god.
Even more.
I hated that entire thing, so.